We are live, ladies and gentlemen, the 11th day of November on this Wednesday edition, 2009. George Humphrey, economist, former Austin City Council member, documentary filmmaker, best-selling author, is in studio with us for another 5 minutes. And I'm going to play a few-minute clip from the intro to my interview with Governor Jesse Ventura as he gave us an exclusive look into his new TV show, Conspiracy Theory, that comes from our perspective to air on True TV. I'm a consultant. I'm in some of the episodes. It's very, very exciting, and it looks like it's going to be a good piece. It premieres December 2nd. We'll also have open phones for Dr. Sherri Tenpenny coming up, but 5 more minutes with George Humphrey since he happened to drop by before we go to that tape, and then we're going to come back live with Dr. Sherri Tenpenny. You were going to finish up because you're an economist.
Yeah.
You're in Fall of the Republic. I should add, everybody needs to get the DVD at Infowars.com. You're authorized to make copies for not-for-sale purposes. I have to say that, or people then take it and say it's their right to sell it, and I can't sell it. We even had that happen on Amazon and places, and they get mad. We're only going to sell your stuff. You can't sell your own stuff. The point is, we also need your support. So, again, Infowars.com, the online video bookstore shopping cart, or call toll-free to get Fall of the Republic. You can get it in a combo pack with Reflections and Warnings, which is really good, with the late, great Aaron Russo, the last video interview he did. It's a documentary, incredible revelations. You can get that free while supplies last, because we're running out of them. This printing of them I have. You can get it free with Fall of the Republic today. Look for that combo special at Infowars.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. That's 888-253-3139. Going back to George Humphrey. George, you got 5 minutes, and it's great to have you pop in. I want to have you as a guest the next few weeks now that you're back in Austin. You're always jet-setting around the globe, which is bad for your carbon footprint. They're saying carbon credits, carbon rationing. You'll have to get government authorization to be able to fly. That's openly being announced. People are really waking up now because this is all happening. But as an economist, I have the health care bill. I've read the subsections here, the close to 2,000. It's 1,960-something pages. It says 5 years in prison, $250,000 fine if you don't buy insurance. So forget just taking, and they take 2.5 to 5%, depending on your pay grade. 2.5 to 5% is taken out of your check. This is in the bill, and for the uninsured, and you're forced to buy insurance. So this is a massive new tax to the bankers. As an economist who's predicted everything that's happening right now, a top economist and a successful businessman, what will this health care plan really do?
Well, first of all, it hasn't passed the Senate, and I'm sure there's going to be huge changes. But as it stands now, Pelosi's bill, according to one of the top guys I talked to, he's neither Democrat or Republican. He says that for a family of 4 making $100,000, it's going to cost that family $20,000 a year as the bill stands right now. Now, that's impossible. A family of 4, even though $100,000 is a lot of money, family of 4, when they pay their mortgage, when they pay their car payments, when they pay their gas and electric and their phone, and they send Johnny and Susie to school and they go to the Starbucks, they don't have anything left. As a matter of fact, starting about 7 years ago, the first time in the history of America, the average family in the United States is now spending more and has more debt than they have assets. $20,000 as the bill stands right now. Now, clearly, the Senate's going to change this thing, and it's going to get moved around. But the people of this country have to understand this is a status quo sick care bill. It supports big pharma. It supports the hospital corporations. It supports segments of the AMA and of the insurance company. Does it support you and me? No.
Now, let me be clear here, just to add a point. Dennis Kucinich came out 2 weeks ago, wrote an editorial, gave a speech, and it was titled, Healthcare Bill is a Bailout to Insurance Companies. Yeah. And then he wrote another editorial Monday titled, Why I Voted Against the Bill. And he's a socialist, but I respect him because he'll speak out against government-sponsored terror. He's a good man. I disagree with his political system and his ideas on economics, but I really respect Dennis because he's the real deal.
Yeah, I know.
And he said, look, this isn't socialism. You know, when Newsweek says we're all socialists, now, bull, the insurance companies, in fact, I have the Wall Street Journal right here. The insurance companies, here is the spokesman for the insurance companies admitting in this article from the Wall Street Journal that they actually wrote the bill. They want penalties. They want to make you get this. It gives them liability protection, but they come out and act like they're actually against it, just like News Corps is actually for the global greenhouse tax.
Absolutely, of course.
So again, there's all sorts of baiting and switching here, and every time we say we're against this, oh, you're against cap and trade, you work for the oil companies, they're funding cap and trade. Oh, you're against the health care bill, you're working for the insurance companies. No, I work for Alex Jones, and that's it.
You know, the fact is this is not about health. This is about a transfer of power. 17% of the gross national product of the whole economy is going to be transferred from the private sector, which isn't working right now, but to the federal sector, which is going to be an absolute train wreck. This is about the grabbing of power, the taking of your rights. And friends, the only way it's going to stop is when the people who are listening to this get themselves fully educated, listen to Alex, watch Fall of the Republic, and then go talk to your friends, and then start beating the pans. It's time to stop being secret and whispering about this stuff. It's time to start talking about it everywhere you go, in the grocery stores, at the coffee houses, at your club, on your runs, at church. Everybody you know you need to speak to.
You're right, George, because they're making their move right now. I mean, go back to October 13 months ago. All over the news, it was, we need this banker bailout. This will pay for everybody's mortgages. This will unfreeze mortgages. And they pass it on the 3rd of October. October 4th on Saturday, Paulson comes down and says, we're not going to spend it on that now, and we're not going to tell you where the money's going. Same with health care, same with cap and trade. Anything they bill as being for the people, the elite own our Congress, that it is not for you.
Here's an amazing statistic. In the last 6 months, in the last 100 working days in the United States, Goldman Sachs, through the carry trade, has made over $100 million per day in the reverse carry trade.
Just on manipulating dollars.
And manipulating dollars. It used to be the Japanese carry trade here. What we've done now is reverse it, and the big guys, Goldman Sachs, mostly through investments in Brazil and some of the other countries, they are making $100 million a day.
Off the death of the dollar.
Off the death of the dollar.
And they're saying the Arabs are killing the dollar. The Arabs, the Chinese, the Russians, they're all begging us not to do this. They hold all the dollars, but the media's killing the dollar, the banks are killing it, and then blaming it on the Iranians. No, the enemy is the Federal Reserve. They are the culprit.
The enemy is inside the walls. And the folks who are running these, you know, all you have to do is read Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, or read The Economist. Wake up, friends. The people who are controlling Wall Street are the same people who control ABC, NBC, the total media, and they control both the Republican and Democratic parties and the controlled opposition. What we are facing is so much bigger than even 95% of educated patriots are aware of.
Exactly. That's why people ask why I'm so upset, and I'm so... Folks, if I caught somebody robbing my car in my yard, I'd get upset. This is a government, organized tyranny taking over my life. I mean, these are bad people. They want to force eugenics and control and inoculations through a medical tyranny.
Goldman Sachs, because they can borrow directly from the Treasury, is taking money at less than 0.5% and then able to go out and buy the reserves all the way around the world.
Well, did you see that McClatchy series of investigative reports? We had him on last Friday, this top investigative journalist. They got the internal documents where Goldman Sachs planned the implosion of the housing market. They sold all these housing stocks while betting against them to destroy their competition. I mean, this is a cold-blooded group.
Of course it is.
And notice their people are all the top federal regulators.
Of course. And you point that out very, very, very clearly in Fall of the Republic. And friends, this thing is so much bigger. And there's one other point that I would like to make before I go. The United States has transported several nuclear bunker-busting bombs over to Israel. And there are plans right now for either an American or American-Israeli or Israeli attack on Iran. And the
Rand Corporation says the globalists need World War III to get their new world order.
Friends, this would be the most destabilizing event in the history of our lives. If we go in and nuke Iran, and I am not a friend of the Iranian government, I think that they're Looney Tunes.
Yeah, but the globalists want to have order out of chaos.
Of course they do. And right now, if you put together Russia, China, India, and Iran, and maybe Brazil and some of the others, is that the destabilization to this country is unbelievable.
They want World War III in Central Asia.
Absolutely they do. And all you have to do is read Brzezinski's book.
Yeah, they admit it all.
They admit it all. The
geopolitical master strategists are all public about this.
And friends, all of these things, whether it's political, economic, environmental, all these things, all we're doing is for asking you, wake up right now. If you care about this country, you have to make a choice. Either you can go along with the status quo and hide out, and if you do that, your country and your family are doomed.
George, last question. Why, I have my perspective. Why are they openly announcing world government, openly announcing the carbon tax after decades of denying it and planning in our mind it didn't exist, giving people that compulsion that it isn't real? Now they come out and admit everything. That means they're really making their move.
Well, because first of all, they're arrogant, and from their point of view, they have all their bases covered.